Most persons would not get this question correct. She blanks to work every day. Is it go or is it goes? Now, to get the question correctly, you need to understand a very important grammar rule. Now, that rule states that singular subjects must take on singular verbs, and singular verbs are made up of the base verb form to which you add s, es, or ies, right? So, for instance, you have go as a base verb form, and you have what es added to it to become goes. So, this is a singular verb. Now, the plural subjects, on the other hand, the rule states must take up plural verbs, plural subjects, plural verb. And the plural verb form is just basic natural form or the base verb form, which is go. Now, to get the question correctly, ask yourself, the subject here, is it singular or plural? Obviously, it is singular, right? So it must take on a singular verb. Which of these two options is a singular verb? Of course, it's option B, goes. So the correct answer would be she goes to work every day. Let's move on. Can you answer this question? I have lived here blank 2020. Is it A, since, or is it B, for? To get this question correctly, you must know the difference between since and for and when to use them. So pay close attention. This is the rule. Whenever you want to use the word since, you must ensure that it is used with a specific point in time. In other words, you mention a particular point. For instance, you can say since 1905. That's a specific point. Since Monday, since yesterday, right? Now, when you want to use the word for, ensure it is used with a period of time, not a specific time, a period of time. So I could say for 6 years or for 2 weeks. Now, let's go back to the question. Which of these two options do you think will be correct? To get the answer correctly, ask yourself, is 2020 referring to a period of time or a specific point in time? Of course, it's a specific point in time. And when we're referring to a specific point in time, we use the word since. So the correct answer would be since. I have lived here since 2020. Let's move to the next question. Can you answer this question? Which of these sentences is correct? Is it A, B, C, or D? To get this question correctly, you need to understand something. There are two rules, and you must pay very close attention to me. Now, first things first, understand that the expression don't is a contraction of do not, and it is used plural verbs, right? Or plural subject, rather. Plural subjects. And this is a contraction or a shorter form of saying does not, and it is used with singular subjects. Now, the focus is she. She obviously is a singular subject, right? So that means we cannot have don't or do not used with what? She. So that means that options D are out of it and options A are out of it. So the correct answer should be between B and C. Now let's think very carefully. There's a rule governing the use of does not or doesn't. Immediately after using this expression, doesn't, you must accompany it with the base form of the verb. The base form of the verb is the natural form of the verb. So we say things like doesn't cook, doesn't teach. These are the natural forms of the verb. We don't say things like doesn't cooks or doesn't teaches. That would be wrong because the rule states that the expression doesn't must be accompanied by the natural form of the verb or the verb form, the base form of the verb that doesn't take s, es, or ies. So the question is this: which of these two has the base form of the verb? Obviously, it is option C. So the correct answer is option C. She doesn't know. Let's move on to the next question. Let's try this question. Can you answer it? If blank you, I'd apologize. Is it A, am, was, were, or B? To get this question correctly, you need to come to terms with or understand something called the second conditional. And this is used when talking about situations that are not real, or what we call hypothetical. Right? And that's a fixed expression. And the correct expression actually is if I were you. right? If I were you, we use this to describe situations that are not real or that never happened, but you wish were actually what real, right? So the correct expression is if I were you, right? I'd apologize. There should actually be letter I here. If I were you, I'd apologize, right? Let's try the next question. Attempt this question. He is good dash mathematics. A, in, or to get this question correctly, you must know the difference between these two expressions, good at and good in, because they are used in different situations. Pay very close attention. So look at this. When you want to use the expression good at, remember it is used when talking about skills, abilities, or subjects. So I can say Elliot is good at public speaking. Nene is good at cooking. Public speaking is a skill or an ability. Nene is good at cooking. That's also a skill. Now, good in is used when you're talking about situations or environment. For instance, I could say Michael is good in stressful situations, or she is good in interviews. Now, the focus here is mathematics. Mathematics actually refers to a subject. So the correct use would have been good at. Okay, so the correct option would be B. Let's move to the next question. Let's look at this. I look forward to dash you. A, meet. B, meeting. Now, the correct rule states that whenever you use the expression look forward to, you need to understand something. This word here, to, acts as a preposition, right? And the rule states that it must be accompanied by a verb plus ing, right? The verb here is meet, but the ing form is meeting. So obviously, the correct answer would be what? B, I look forward to meeting you. Let's go to the next question. The question. Neither John nor Mary dash coming. Is it A, is, or are? B. Now, there's a rule that we must pay attention to, and that is the rule governing the use of neither nor, right? Now, the verb that is to be used must agree with the closest subject. So the question is, what is the nature of the subject that is closest to nor? Well, the subject is Mary. Ask yourself, is Mary singular or is Mary plural? Remember, there's a rule. Singular subjects take singular verbs, and plural subjects take plural verbs. Mary is a singular subject, so she must be accompanied by a singular verb. So in this case, the singular verb would be what? Is. So the correct option would be is. Neither John nor Mary is coming. All right, let's go to the next question. Okay, this one is very tricky. He suggested that he dash earlier. A, leave, or B, leaves. Now, most people will get this wrong because they want to follow the singular subject, plural subject rule. But be very careful here. Listen. Now, the expression suggests that there's a rule governing it. It must be accompanied by the base verb form. In other words, the natural form of the verb. The natural form of the verb is that form that doesn't have s or es or ies attached to it. So a typical example would be cook. This is a natural verb form or the base verb form. You know, the form which you have added s or es or ies would look like this: cooks, right? So, but in this case, we are following the rule using the base verb form. So, which of these two verbs actually is the base verb form or the natural verb form? Obviously, is this. She suggested that he leave earlier. Let's go to the next question. Can you get this question correctly? I have never dash such a beautiful place. A, see, B, saw, C, seen. What's the correct answer? Now, the rule states that when you're using have or has, which is the present perfect form, you must use with the past participle form, right? Now, see is the present form, saw is the past tense, but the past participle form is seen. Now, having listened to my explanation, which of them do you think is the correct option? Obviously, it's seen. So the correct expression would be, I have never seen such a beautiful place. Option C. Let's try the next question. This one is pretty easy, right? There blank many people outside, but a few people will get this wrong. So what's the correct answer? Now, first things you need to know what the nature of the subject is, right? The subject here, people. People is plural, and the rule states that plural subjects must take on plural verbs, right? So this is a singular verb. So the only option available would, of course, be this, which is a plural verb. So the correct answer is C. There are many people outside. I hope you learned a lot while watching this video. If you want to watch more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button, follow my channel on YouTube and on Facebook so that you can get more videos like this and share to someone who might need it.